In 2016, these guys did $29 million in revenue on Amazon. The next year, it was 90 million. 3 years later, 300 million. Last year, 400 million. And this year, they are on track to do $700 million in sales on Amazon. Yep, these guys are the #1 seller on Amazon. And I'm going to show you their secret, which is absolutely f***ing nuts. But first, who are these guys? And did a game of ping pong really start a billion-dollar empire? Adnan and Jibran Nayaz came to America 20 years ago. The two brothers were working full-time as consultants in the computer industry. But then their mum was getting pissed off. Not at them, at their dad. She said, "That old bastard has too much time on his hands. Get him out my hair and keep him busy." All right, that's not verbatim, but you get my drift. So what do? They decided to start a business importing textiles, and that went terribly. On one of their first big orders, they shipped some towels to a buyer who got the shipment and then told Adnan and Jibran that he didn't actually have the money to pay for the order. Then, after not learning their lesson the first time, the same thing happened again. Not an ideal start. But then, ping pong came to the rescue. No, it's not what you're thinking. They did not start the world's biggest ping pong brand. The brothers had so many unsold, overstocked towels in their basement that it was covering their beloved ping pong table. And, well, here's Jibran to explain more on that one.
Our basement where we used to play our table tennis, right? So that was our thing to do with dad and my brother, who used to live in the house and in the basement. Now that our table tennis is gone, right? Because the goods were there. So the first motivation to start the business is get rid of these goods so that we can start playing table tennis and have some good time in the night, especially in the winters.
So 5 years after founding their brand and moving it onto Amazon, they were bringing in a very respectable $29 million a year, selling towels and selling linens. But we fast forward to today, and they're looking at revenues of $700 million. Out of the top 5 worldwide Amazon sellers, they are the only non-supplement brand, and they go head-to-head with and beat Amazon on price. So at this point, you're probably wondering who they are and how in the f*** they managed to do it. Well, take a look at this. The company is called Utopia Deals, and first of all, their review counts are outrageous. In pretty much every single category related to bedding and linens, they've got the top spot. Take this listing. 162,000 reviews, 4.6 stars out of 5. It ranks organically 1 to 10 for 235 keywords with a search volume of more than 1,000 a month, and it ranks #1 for 106 of those keywords. Want to know how many combined searches that is a month? Of course you do. It's 1.7 million. 1.7 million keyword searches every single month that they appear organically in the #1 spot on Amazon. And that is just for one of their products. And to add to all that, they've got a 100% positive seller rating from over 50,000 people in the last 12 months. That's a football stadium, or soccer for you folks in the US, full of people who have 5-starred this brand service. So, how exactly did these guys end up in so many people's beds? I mean, their sheets, obviously, not literally these guys, although who knows, to be fair. Having $1 billion business can't hurt your chances. So Utopia's big secret is that they do everything themselves. Everything. You see, these fellas know that Amazon have a little bit of a bad habit of jumping into big selling products niches when they think they can undercut the top sellers. And that usually leads to Amazon taking over the niche and the other brand's sales dying off. Well, Adnan and Jibran don't play like that. And while everyone else is playing checkers, the two brothers started playing chess. You see, Utopia took control of the entire supply chain. Starting with manufacturing, which they realized they could do much cheaper in their homeland of Pakistan rather than in China. So they started making their own polyester. And next they moved all of their weaving, cutting, and packing in-house. Next, zippers. After that, poly bags, boxes, the stuff that you stuff inside of a pillow. Yep, they make that as well. When the business needed a special loom, they didn't like what the Chinese offered in quality and price, so of course, they engineered and built their own in-house. And why stop there? They didn't want to waste costs on a logistics broker or 3PL, so they handle all of that themselves as well. Now, I know what you're thinking. Obviously, this enormous production and inventory operation requires a hell of a lot of management. And thankfully, there's plenty of software solutions out there to fit the bill. But the brothers thought they were all shit. So, being developers themselves, they decided to write all of their own custom software. They say this means they can hold 50% less raw materials than their main competitors, saving a bunch on costs and allowing them to undercut everyone, including Amazon themselves, while still being profitable. This is the ultimate case study in vertical integration, and it's without a doubt the best example of leveraging Amazon's customer base that I've ever seen. People like to talk about platform risk, and it's true. Amazon can pull the rug out from you at any moment, but they're also your biggest ally. Utopia brands make just 2% of their sales off of Amazon's platform, and they have no intention of growing that. And can you blame them? I can think of 700 million reasons why they should probably carry on just as they are. Now, this might not feel like a realistic strategy to take for a lot of new sellers on Amazon. But then again, most sellers don't go on to be top of the Amazon food chain. However, this is such a mad story, and there's definitely some things that we can all learn from it. Number one, never, ever underestimate the motivational powers of ping pong. I'm joking. Here's the first. Amazon are your friend, not your foe. Jeff and the team have built the single biggest and best e-commerce platform that this planet has ever seen. Use it to your advantage. Play the game, work the system, and get those sales ticking over. Number two, when things are working, double down. These guys got a taste of success, they realized they were onto something good, and they went all in. They reinvested big, and they built themselves a money printing machine. And number three, suppliers matter. Finding the right suppliers makes a huge difference. And maybe the traditional routes to market aren't always the best option for your products. Now, I'm not saying you've got to go out and build your own factory outside of China right away, but these guys thought outside of the box, and you should too. When me and Alex went to China recently, we got to have a proper look at how our products were made and see the real truth of what most factories and suppliers in China are really like. The food, the drinks, Actually, if you want the full scoop, check this out.